nature wreaked havoc on them, and now they have been failed by the Netas. The human tragedy in Kanyakumari is nothing short of heartbreaking.
Thousands of fishermen took to the streets to protest against Tamil Nadu governments, meted out especially to these fishermen for not bringing them back.
Several promises were made, but nothing was implemented on ground.
Each and every fisherman who has gone from Kerala will come home safe.
As several families still await the return of their loved ones, the government is busy downplaying the crisis. Mirror Now asks, why is the Tamil Nadu government blind to the Kanyakumari crisis? Aren't fishermen's lives important enough? Mirror Now report.
We're watching the Urban Debate on Mirror Now. Thank you for joining us. This was one of those days, viewers, when we had a story that we believed should be told on a national platform. The fisher folk of Kanyakumari marched in protest yesterday for 5 kilometers. They stopped trains. They demanded justice. Most of the people who were protesting yesterday were women and children. It's very important for the rest of the country to know what they're protesting about. It turns out their demands or their claims are that the government of Tamil Nadu has horribly underplayed the impact of the cyclone on their fishing villages. They say over 700 fishermen went out that day and have not come home. The government of Tamil Nadu's numbers are much, much lower than that. The fisherfolk also say that the government has not requested the Navy to step in with search and rescue operations. Now we know that the Navy is currently searching and rescuing fisherfolk off the coast of Kerala and off the coast of the Lakshadweep Islands. Why not Kanyakumari then? Why is it that the government in Tamil Nadu has not acknowledged its own fishermen who are currently out at sea, who have been out at sea now for over 6 days, without fresh food and without fresh water? What is the government doing? Why won't it just call for help? Something seems horribly, horribly wrong. And that's the question we're asking this evening, because I do believe that of all the things happening in our country today, and there are lots of very, very important things, including state elections, these fishermen need our help. And stepping aside from what might be popular and what might bring in the TRPs, I believe that this is a story that should be told tonight. What happened to the fishermen of Kanyakumari, and why aren't they getting the attention they deserve from their state government? Joining me on the show this evening, C. Rajshekharan, Senior Advocate with the Madras High Court, Muralidharan, AIADMK supporter who will be supporting the state government. Father Churchill is the General Secretary of the South Asian Fishermen Fraternity in Kanyakumari, who has been leading that protest. Sarvanand is a spokesperson of the DMK. Sandhya Ravishankar is a senior journalist joining us out of Chennai. Sujay Kantawala, senior lawyer, and Sajin is a fisherman who also joins us in Kanyakumari. I welcome all of you to this conversation. I'm going to start with Sandhya Ravishankar. Sandhya, there's obviously been conflicting reports, conflicting numbers from the government and from the reports coming out of Kanyakumari. The government says 554 missing. The fishermen say the numbers are a lot worse. What is the truth right now on the ground? What are the reports that you're picking up from Kanyakumari?
The reports coming out of Kanyakumari, the government says 554 missing. The numbers are a lot worse. What is the truth right now on the ground? What are the reports that you're picking up?
All right, we're going to go back. All right, we're going to go back to Sandhya Ravishankar where we get that audio fixed. I'm going to start with Father Churchill, who joins us out of Kanyakumari. Father Churchill, if you can hear us, please tell us what this protest was about and why are the people of Kanyakumari so upset?
Madam, on 30th morning, the Yogi cyclone hit the Kanyakumari district fishermen. we were warned by the government of Tamil Nadu the previous day evening after 6 o'clock that we should not go launch for fishing. But our fishermen are naturally deep sea fishermen.
Okay.
And they used to stay in the sea from 10 days to 35 days for every voyage.
Okay.
So before getting the warning from the government, more than 3,000 our fishermen are already in the sea. The warning message was given to the people, those who are in the shore. But the same was not given to the people, those who are already remaining in the deep sea. So our question is, when the government was using the medias and instrument to reach this message to the people, those who are in the land, so also government have the medias and resources of aircraft, helicopter and navy ship, coast guard ship, which can pass this warning message through wireless to the people, those who are already in the mid-sea. If they have passed this message, surely many of our fishermen would have returned safe. And also, even for a high wind or rain, the message is given in advance at least for 3 days. But for such a cyclone, the government has given the message only the previous day evening. Why?
Why?
And also they reduced the speed of the cyclone wind. They told it will be 40 to 50. But the fishermen say it was more than 100. Therefore, I think the government purposely allowed us to get affected by this cyclone.
Why would
Therefore,
they, and
we
you
are
know,
upset.
Father Churchill, I want to understand this. There's a mismatch right now in the numbers that the Tamil Nadu government is counting in terms of those dead and those lost at sea or who have not come home yet. And the numbers that your village has is completely different. Tell us why there is a mismatch and what are the numbers according to you of the number of fishermen who are currently out at sea who have not been found yet?
Madam, I ask a question to the government of Tamil Nadu, the fisheries officials or whoever may be. How they get these datas? All the datas are with us. Because in Kanyakumari district, none of the fisheries department have the datas of the fishermen, those are venturing into the sea for fishing. Only we fishermen families we have. When the cyclone hit the district, immediately we collected from every house whose mechanist and fiber boat are in the sea. How many fishermen are in it? Then we collected that one. Then we have been updating who have been getting safer places in different parts of India. Many have reached Goa, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Kerala. Some even they reached the Kanyakumari district also. So till yesterday evening, our count was that 74 mechanized boat and 4 fiber boat have to return back with 1,113 fishermen. And 74 fishermen have already died. Only 2 bodies were rescued, that also by our own fishermen. And this data that 74 fishermen have died is given by our fishermen who were fishing with them in the same boat. So they are the eyewitness, those who are with them, some of them were sinking in the sea. The government, they are not ready to get the eyewitness of the people. Instead, they say only 2 people have died in the cyclone in Kanyakumari district because only 2 bodies are rescued. I am asking the same government. Hundreds of bodies are floating in the mid-sea. The fishermen, those who are returning, are telling us. They are not able to collect the body because it is disfigured. The reason is positive because 34 bodies were rescued in Kerala coast. Among 34, still 16 bodies are there unidentified. the Tamil Nadu government identified one body of a fisherman
Okay.
who is from Tuticorin district.
What is okay? Let me just ask.
That family.
Let me just ask you, Father Churchill, what is the demand of the fisher people of Kanyakumari and Kolachal right now? What do you want from the Tamil Nadu government? Do you want them to bring in the navy? Do you want them to acknowledge the loss of life? What are you asking for?
Madam, we have been requesting and demanding the government of Tamil Nadu to demand the union government to declare this Oki cyclone as a national disaster and send at least 2 warship with aircraft and helicopter to rescue the fishermen, those who are struggling in the mid-sea. That is 1,113 fishermen. That has been our major demand. The second demand was the Kerala government, for the same cyclone hit fishermen, they have offered and declared 20 lakhs rupees for every fisherman those who died in the cyclone and job for a family member from that family. And they told after 2 months, if the person is not rescued alive or as a dead body, they will be considered as dead, and for them the relief will be given. And also they declared 5 lakhs rupees will be given to the person who are wounded in that cyclone. We are asking the same thing to be done to our Tamil Nadu fisher folk by the Tamil Nadu government.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to take this to Muralidharan, who supports the AIADMK. Mr. Muralidharan, what is going on in Tamil Nadu? Why is it that you are not rescuing your own fishermen? Why is the government underplaying the numbers? Why haven't you called in the Navy? Kerala has called in the Navy and requested for Navy assistance. Lakshadweep has the Navy assistance. What is wrong in Tamil Nadu?
I don't know how much have you been following this story, Faye. Let me clarify, and I need to put some facts in place. One, this is deep sea fishing. As Father said, this guy should have been informed in the sea. Now, what is the possibility of informing so many people? What kind of connectivity do we have? And deep sea fishing, as he said, it can take between 10 to 35 days. So these guys could have gone in very deep. Even if you alert them, they cannot get back to the shore. Now, that's the kind of risk. Second, Oki cyclone.
So one second. Mr. Muralidharan, you're offending my intelligence by suggesting that I do a show on prime time without doing my homework. And you're offending the intelligence of my entire base of viewership if you think that we're going to believe that ships go out at sea without any means of communication to each other, that there is no radio communication. How do you think the Navy communicates with its ships?
These are not ships. Fair,
so you're telling me that these fishermen go out, these fishermen go out, hang on. You're telling me that these fishermen go out on trawlers and the Coast Guard has no ability to reach them?
Yes.
The Coast Guard has no ability to reach them?
The Coast Guard has the ability to reach them, who are closer to them. Now look at where these people have landed.
They're the Coast Guard. They're not the beach guard. They're not lifeguards. They're the Coast Guard. They have the ability to reach those who are out at sea. Please, Mr. Muralidharan, read something before you come to the show.
They can, but not during the cyclone.
That's the whole point. The warning should have gone out before the cyclone, not during the cyclone. And I think that you are right now walking yourself into a corner. The Coast Guard should have reached these people and informed them before the cyclone. That's exactly the point that was just made.
They reached Gujarat. How did they reach Gujarat? See,
who reach Gujarat?
The government of India, you know, Honorable Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, Defence Minister, she was in Kanyakumari addressing the people. She had pressed in all the Navy ships, helicopters, boats, everything into rescuing. Now, I don't know what
Navy
is
ships and helicopters are currently rescuing people of Kerala and of Lakshadweep.
No, are we saying our Navy is responsible?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying your government is responsible. Nice try, Mr. Muralidharan. I want to know, why is the Tamil Nadu government underplaying the number of fishermen who are lost at sea from Tamil Nadu?
You have to get your facts right.
My facts are absolutely right.
International borders, it has to be the central government's responsibility.
Mr. Sarvanan joins us now, spokesperson of the DMK. Sarvanan,
Yeah.
what is happening in Tamil Nadu?
Yes.
Please explain to us.
This is a colossal, it is a colossal failure of the state government and the central government. The failure has happened on two aspects. Firstly, they failed to notify the local population about the intensity of the cyclone. The warning was given just one day ago. They should have notified it much earlier and preparatory measures should have been taken. That has not happened, and there is no coordination between the IMD and the state government. This is one aspect. The other aspect is that the colossal failure has happened in trying to rescue these fishermen. After this cyclone, at least when it is approaching, we have a lot of scientific tools. India is one of the topmost country in remote sensing, and that is not put to proper use because of lack of coordination and complete apathy on the part of the state government. If, as pointed out by the father, if the Navy and the remote sensing satellites, they could have identified the fishermen where they are, so many lives could have been saved. Leave that. The fishermen are stranded in Gujarat. What has the state government done? They were not even able to provide food for them. All the fishermen who were complaining that they were unable to take care of the cold. Why an IAS officer could not have been deputed there? Does the Tamil Nadu state does not have a resource to depute even a collector or to provide food for those 600 stranded persons? This is the state of affairs in Tamil Nadu. The ministers are busy campaigning in RK Nagar instead of visiting the flood hit Kanyakumari. The chief minister has not visited Kanyakumari till now. The governor, who is acting as a super constitutional authority, goes there and conducts review meeting there. He says the officials along with him will take the consensus of the people who are missing. This should be done by the state government. They have abdicated their responsibility. The governor, who is not supposed to do all these things, using this opportunity of a spineless government, is taking an upper hand and interfering.
No, but let's hang on. Let's acknowledge the fact that the governor of Tamil Nadu made a visit yesterday while the protests were on. While he was advised to stay away, he said, "No, I will go to Kolachal and I will visit these people." He made a visit yesterday. I don't want, let's not dismiss the fact that he showed a certain sensitivity towards these people and he wanted to understand what they were going through. Mr. Rajshekharan, senior advocate with the Madras High Court, there has been a case in the Madras High Court on whether or not this should be a natural disaster or not a natural disaster.
Not respected, which is not welcome.
Mr. Muralidharan, Mr. Rajshekharan, go ahead. Mr. Rajshekharan, go ahead.
First, I want to send my condolences to the deceased fisherman family, and my heart goes to them. And it is very unfortunate and sad to hear the real ground situation from the father who was in the panel. And now today we are discussing about what should have been done, why this government failed. All this. This is not the time to say tu me. I mean, keeping the politics aside, let us be fair and have some conscience and speak for the human life, be it fisherman and be it anybody. See, the life is so precious. Even a fisherman, he has a family, children, everything. And now they are stranded all over, not only in Gujarat, Lakshadweep, in the Andamans, and here this side Kerala fishermen have stranded and everybody...
No, but Mr. Rajshekharan, according to the information that we have, the Navy, there are 9 naval ships, 4 types of aircraft that continue to be deployed as of the 7th of December off the coast of Kerala and off the coast of Lakshadweep. They're currently in search and rescue operations. They're providing fresh water. They are looking right now at repair to a damaged desalination plant. There is some rescue operations. The Southern Navy Command is currently looking into it. My question is, why is the Navy not been requested to step in for Kanyakumari as well? Can you explain to us, if there are 9 Navy ships, why are the fisher folk of Kanyakumari upset?
See, I'll tell you, the real problem in Tamil Nadu is there is nobody to immediately look into the current situation prevailing at Kanyakumari, because the present government is busy celebrating MGR centenary. I am not saying they shouldn't celebrate. They can celebrate. They are entitled to celebrate. And the group of ministers are campaigning at RK Nagar. They have the right to campaign. But today, at Kanyakumari, Toothukudi, that the real area where the fishermen are fighting for their life. The whole family is on the streets and nobody is bothered. Everybody sits at Madras Secretariat and their house and you today, I was told the Chief Minister had called a team of fishermen's family to meet at his residence. Why the Chief Minister did not go to Kanyakumari immediately? Why today after so many years? All this put together in a nutshell, this government is insensitive towards this incident, and if Jayalalitha would have been alive, definitely the story would have been different. Now, I would say this government failed in reaching out to the fishermen who are stranded, and it is the right time for the government of India to step in and do more. We expect the government of India to do more. See, I am not a sycophant like anybody on the panel saying that PM Modi has come.
No, one second. Okay, one second. I want to bring in Sajjan right now. Sajjan is a fisherman in Kolachal who joins us at this point. He's sitting next to Father Churchill. Father Churchill will translate what he's saying because Sajjan will speak in Tamil. I'm going to ask him this question. Sajjan, can you tell us what is happening at this point? Have you gone out or have you come back from sea since the cyclone? What are the reports that the fishermen are bringing? Can you tell us in Tamil and we'll get a translation.
Sajjan, நீ கடல்ல மீன் பிடிக்க போயிருந்தல்ல போயிருந்த நேரத்துல அந்த புயல் வந்தது. புயல் வந்த நேரத்துல நீ எப்படி அந்த புயலை சந்திச்ச? எப்படி நீ அந்த புயல்ல இருந்து மீண்டு வந்த? எங்க வந்த?
நான் வந்து கொல்லத்துலேருந்து சுமார் ஒரு 40 நாட்டிகள் அவ்வளோ தூரத்தில் கடலுக்குள்ளே அப்புறம் காலையில் ஒரு 8-8:30 மணி அந்த டைமில் இருக்கும். இப்போ எங்களுக்கு வயர்லெஸ் போட்டில் வயர்லெஸ் மூலமாக சொல்கிறாங்க இப்படி நம்ம கன்னியாகுமரி டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்டுக்கு ஒரு காற்று எச்சரிக்கை கொடுத்துருக்காங்க அப்படி புயல்னு சொல்லலை காற்றுன்னு சொன்னாங்க. நாங்களும் காற்று தானே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சாதாரணமாக தானே சரி இருந்தாலும் கரைக்கு போகலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கரைக்கு கிளம்பிட்டுருக்க நேரம் சொல்லி எங்களுக்கு அனௌன்ஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு வயர்லெஸில் நியூஸ் கிடச்சி ஒரு அரை மணிக்கூரில் புயல் எங்களுக்கு தாக்கிடுச்சு. இப்போ சுமார் ஒரு 9 மணி டு காலையில் மார்னிங் 9 மணி டு நைட்டு ஒரு 11 மணி வரைக்கும் காற்றுல தான் ஃபுல்லாக. ஆனால் ரொம்ப காற்று இது வரைக்குமே இப்படி எங்கள் அனுபவத்துக்கும் சரி எங்களை விடைக்கும் பெரியவங்க அனுபவத்துலையும் சரி இந்த மாதிரி எந்த ஒரு காற்று நாங்கள் பார்த்ததில்லை இது வரைக்கும் பார்த்தது அப்படின்னு தான் சொல்கிறாங்க. அந்தளவுக்கு காற்று ரொம்ப எல்லாருமே ரொம்ப பயந்துட்டாங்க. இனிமேல் நம்ம கரைக்கு போக மாட்டோம், நம்ம லைஃப் இங்கேயோட முடிஞ்சது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் எல்லாருமே அழுது ப்ரேயர்.
Okay, a quick translation for our viewers. That was Sajjan who tells us he was at sea at the time when the cyclone hit. They received information and a warning of a cyclone only half an hour before the storm hit them. Half an hour, which is not enough time for them to react in any way. He said there was no time to react. The storm hit them half an hour after they received the information, and they were stuck in that storm from 9 a.m. till 11 p.m. being tossed about at the high seas. He said it's the worst storm that he has personally seen in his life as a fisherman. He said the winds were very fast and they all thought they were going to die. It is a miracle, he says, that he is alive. We're going to ask him more questions, but let's just focus on one point at a time. Muralidharan of the AIDMK, why did the message go out to the fishermen so late, with only a half an hour window? Is that why we have lost over 1,000 of them?
Very simple. You need to understand, the fisherman problem in South Tamil Nadu, it's not something new. It's been happening for many years now.
How is that a solution? How is that an excuse? How is that an answer?
Navy.
That this is the problem for a long time, so that's how you're going to, that's how you, this is not Kanjivaram saris and traditional cooking that you will stay exactly the way you've been for the last 100 years. Give me a reasonable answer. Why didn't these fishermen get a warning?
I'll give you a reasonable answer if you listen to me. If you don't listen, if you want to just overshoot what I say, then what's the point? Listen to me. There's a problem in the South Tamil Nadu fishing community. When Sri Lankan Navy catches them and imprisons them, the reason is these guys cross the international border. So you see, it's not difficult. It's extremely difficult for the Navy to figure out where they are fishing. There are people who are landed in Lakshadweep. There are people who are landed in Gujarat. So where will the Navy go searching? It's next to impossible after the cyclone hits. See, let's not disrespect the Navy and their efforts. These guys live there day in, day out.
Mr. Muralidharan, you have made various attempts to dodge my questions. Okay?
Absolutely.
I am not asking. I am not asking you.
What happened?
Why didn't they get a warning? Was my question.
You should have called a meteorological expert or a Navy spokesperson here too. They would have told you what happened in Oki.
Yeah.
Oki formulated overnight.
Why this aggression? I don't understand.
I wish you'd have called the Tamil Nadu
It's such a sensitive issue, Faith, that we are discussing here.
Let me point out. Mr. Muralidharan sits here and makes excuses. 1,000 fishermen are still lost.
Like somebody who doesn't understand Tamil Nadu's feelings of the Kanyakumari fishermen. The people are so agitated, they are in a mourning mindset, and he's talking like somebody who's campaigning in an election. Please understand, the fishermen have lost their lives.
I want to bring in Sujay Kandawala. Sujay,
don't campaign for.
No, I don't want to get into the politics of this whole thing, but what is appalling and what is distressing to me is this: that good people, good fishermen, good citizens have lost their lives. For what?
Yes.
It is the state's duty to ensure the safety of every citizen.
Yes.
What was the need of the hour at that stage? To have picked up this warning and to have somehow the other conveyed it and also sent a rescue. The gentleman says that if we inform them late and the cyclone has already hit, it's already too late. So how will they be rescued?
You've taken them, good as dead.
That's right. So that's not the way you should look at it. It's a natural instinct of every fisherman to go out in the sea. He is going to do his job. It is your duty to see. You cannot say that he goes into Lankan waters and this and that. That's not an excuse. They are all Indian citizens. They may be from any state. We are all part of one country. And therefore, you have to take it from that angle. You cannot politicize the whole thing. The state cannot shirk from its responsibility. There is a colossal failure on behalf of the state today.
You must point out, like I have repeatedly said, that the Navy is doing search and rescue operations right now off Kerala and Lakshadweep. Why can't Tamil Nadu simply ask for the same assistance? Sandhya Ravishankar, senior journalist. Yes. Sandhya Ravishankar joins us right now, senior journalist based out of Chennai. Sandhya, can you explain to us what's happening? Why has the Tamil Nadu state government not asked the Navy for help, not asked the central government for help? Are they in denial? What is going on, Sandhya?
Nothing really is going on, Faith, because as we know, the RK and the elections are happening, the by-polls are happening, and the entire, Tamil Nadu cabinet, the leadership of the ruling party, all of them are camping in RK Nagar and see that they have to sort of their claim to the legacy of the late Mr. Jayalalitha. And in fact, I find it really laughable when Mr. Rajshekhar says that if Jayalalitha were alive, this would not have happened.
This kind of a, callous attitude towards the fishermen would not have happened, because truth be told, the floods of 2015, it was Jayalalitha's disaster. It happened under her watch. So there has been a sort of stagnation or in fact even nil governance in this state since I would say about 2013, and we are continuing to suffer this because our ruling party, the people we voted to power, simply do not care about the people of Tamil Nadu. So Kerala made similar mistakes as well as far as the cyclone is concerned. They did not issue alerts on time. They did not wake up to the fact that this was a very bad, severe cyclone. They didn't wake up to that fact on time either. But they did compensate to some extent by calling in the Coast Guard. They actually called in the Army and the Navy. So they sort of made up to some extent, but not good enough. Kerala is also witnessing similar protests by fishermen, and these fishermen are going in on their own and trying to find the people who are missing. But that being said, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister has not even visited Kanyakumari. Only the Deputy Chief Minister has visited. Just a token visit, nothing major happening. It's just a photo op. And I think the people of Kanyakumari have seen through this very, very easily. And as you can see, there is anger on the streets.
I want to go back to Father Churchill. Father Churchill, Mr. Muralidharan says that once a fisherman goes out, and you are of the South Asian fishermen fraternity, once a fisherman goes out into deep water in a trawler, that it's not possible for anybody to reach them. He also made a very worrying, excuse, saying that they cross the international borders and that's why we cannot rescue them. What is your response to that? What is on behalf of the fishermen community, what is your response to that?
Madam, my Tamil Nadu government does not know who we fishermen in Kanyakumari districts, how far we go for deep sea fishing, how long we stay there. We have 3 assistant director of fisheries and 1 deputy director of fisheries in Kanyakumari district. Madam, even they are ready to get the income through foreign exchange for all the fish that we catch from the deeper seas. We are the well-known expert in deep sea fishing. Everybody know it. And the government of Tamil Nadu know it. I leave that one. And when we are affected by the cyclone, we have given the coordination numbers where our fishermen are doing fishing before cyclone. So if the government had taken it seriously,
yes,
they said that they sent 9 ships. If they sent 9 ships and they properly did their work, why now also there are more than 1,000 fishermen are left without rescuing? We have been demanding. Even when our Central Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman
one second, Mr. Muralidharan, you seem to be distracted by your cell phone. I'm sorry if you believe that the lives of these fishermen are not interesting enough to keep your attention while they're speaking to us from Kolachan.
Faith, I need to remind you, in the month of May, Tamil Nadu government and the centre has decided to convert trawlers into deep sea fishing vessels at a cost of 40,000 crores. And the first GO was rolled out in May. I was just taking out to show you this.
No.
I was taking this out to show you this. It's not the government is being insensitive.
That does not answer the fact that 725 fishermen on last count have not come home. Has the government of Tamil Nadu asked the Navy for help?
They are working very closely with the defense team. Even, in fact, Nirmala Sitharaman, the Honorable Defense Minister, she was there in Kanyakumari talking to people. What are we talking? Are we saying that the government does not care, the centre doesn't care? I am showing you an example.
Father Churchill,
in the month of May 2017,
Father Churchill, are you saying that the government doesn't care?
Sponsoring 90% of the cost for the fishermen to convert their regular trawlers
you need not
into
shout
deep
like
sea
this.
vessels.
It is not a political stage to shout and convince somebody else. My gentleman should know.
No, I'm just saying.
We are part of Tamil Nadu.
Listen, right?
And our problem, we have been telling to the government of Tamil Nadu, that is, we are going for deep sea fishing. Madam, annually nearly 25 fishermen have been dying in the deep sea. We have been requesting the Tamil Nadu government that we need a helicopter with helipad and a speedboat to rescue the fishermen, those are in distress in the deep sea. And for that also we asked, we have wireless which can communicate at only 30 kilometers around. But our fishermen do fish from 500 to 1,000 kilometers deep in the sea. So this wireless is not sufficient.
That's exactly
our
the
neighboring
problem.
country, Sri Lanka, is providing. Please listen. I am listening to you. You should also listen to my problem. The Sri Lanka government has provided their fishermen satellite phone. Therefore, none of the fishermen are missing when they are in distress. Immediately they are communicating to the Navy or Coast Guard to the land also, though they are rescued. We fishermen have been asking this Tamil Nadu government that give us at least radio telephone. If not, VHF.
Yes.
And we asked them, at least give us AIS, automatic identification system. So, however deep we are, if there is some problem, we will operate this. It will be communicated here. Tamil Nadu government have not provided us any instrument which can safeguard our life. See, he is telling that our fishermen are going deep in the sea, therefore it cannot be rescued.
Sarvaran, go ahead.
So our demand was that when the
See, the problem is this. This government has taken, as pointed out by father, is taking the revenues. See, Kanyakumari is known for deep sea fishing and the foreign exchange it is bringing in. But in turn, what has the government? Let it be the state government, and there is no point in just blaming the state government. The central government also has to take equal blame for this, because they have not even, with the central minister was there, she assured, she met, but what has been done on the ground? Nothing has been done. Why no identification? And the people who are there in Gujarat, if the Tamil Nadu government is not able to cooperate, why the central government has not coordinated with them? They have a shipping ministry. They have not coordinated.
But Sarvaran, let me tell you that the information that we have received is that there are 9 Navy ships and 4 types of aircraft that continue to be deployed in south of India. Why? So if there is, and let's acknowledge the fact that the Navy is doing its job at this point. So what's the problem, Sarvaran?
The Navy, see, nobody is finding fault with the Navy. The problem is why there is no coordination. The IMD is belonging to the central government. It is from the central government. Why there is no coordination? And even after that, the central minister came and went, but what is the solution? People are, 4,000 people have blocked the rain today, railway line today. What is the solution for them? Why, if the state government is not doing anything, just sending the governor who does not have any power to act is not going to solve the issue. Somebody responsible should be there on the ground. If the state government is not acting, the centre should take a strong role. They have not done that.
Yes.
No, and these visuals that are being shown, these visuals of these helpless women, they are crying for their loved ones.
Yes.
See, it's the natural instinct of every fisherman to go out. It's his calling, it's his profession. The state has miserably failed over here. You cannot allow hundreds and hundreds of men to be marooned out in this merciless ocean. They had to be ready.
Yes.
And if the gentleman over here representing the government says that from many years this problem is recurring. Now, from many years, if it's recurring, that means more and more fishermen are dying.
Yes.
That is what is troubling me. And therefore, this government did not do, that government did not do. It's the collective duty of the state.
No, and let me point out that it's not impossible, because Maharashtra did it. Gujarat did it.
Absolutely.
Warnings were issued in time. People were actually looked after.
Yes.
Everybody, the governments made sure, the governments of Maharashtra and Gujarat made sure that their fisherfolk were looked after. Why can't Tamil Nadu do the same thing?
That's because they are busy sitting in some area that is known over RK Nagar or something like that. They are busy over there and they are least bothered about these poor fishermen. That is starkly staring at us. And my good friend Mr. Rajshekaran also said the same thing. I fully agree with him that the state has abdicated its functions and the state is solely responsible for this colossal loss that has happened.
All right. Sandhya Ravishankar, go ahead.
I have only one thing to say, and that, it's high time the Edappadi Palanichami government figured out its priorities. Now, the DMK has a big issue with the governor going there and, sort of holding hands and doing yet another photo op. But, as far as I'm concerned, at least he's trying. It may not yield too much, but the problem is that the state, while the Navy, the Indian Army, the Air Force, all of these guys are doing their jobs. The Coast Guard is doing its job. What happens with coordination on the ground? Do we have an exact official data about how many fishermen are in fact missing? What are their names? Where do they live? Where do they come from? What time did they leave to sea? I have not seen anything from the government or officially on this. And my suspicion is that the government is not divulging any of this simply because it is obsessed with this ridiculous RK Nagar by-election, which appears to be an election of prestige for them because they want to claim the the legacy to their late leader Jayalalitha.
One second. Forgive me for interrupting you, but I have MG Devasahayam on the phone line with us right now. He's a retired IS officer in Nagarcoil who joins us, who understands what's happening on the ground. Mr. Devasahayam, thank you for joining us. Can you explain to our viewers who are trying to understand what this all means, why fishermen from Kanyakumari are stranded at this point, and why is the government not coming to their rescue?
Thank you very much. I am back in Nagarcoil now. See, I don't want to beat around the bush.
Yes.
Because this is a time of tragedy and we are all in very bad shape. I don't want to describe the damage also. It is massive and massive and massive. Okay. Now, the question is, from the top down to the bottom, the disaster management system has completely and totally failed. Now, remember, post Gujarat earthquake in 2002, Disaster Management Authority was constituted with the Prime Minister as its head. The first came in tsunami 2004 in Tamil Nadu coast, mainly. Same area in Kanyakumari was very badly affected. Hundreds of people died. Now, nothing happened. Lot of promises were made, but Disaster Management Authority till date, even after several disasters, is just not in place. I don't know whether Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister, in his 3.5 or nearly 4 years tenure, has even presided over a meeting of the National Disaster Management Authority. Now, same as far as Tamil Nadu government is concerned, state level also, and district levels naturally. Now, what happens? Before the IAS, I was also in the army, rather in the core infantry. When the disaster strikes, one is forecasting about disaster. Well, I don't want to go into that. There has been a big mess up there. But when the disaster is struck, the entire machinery must move and act like a military, like the Indian Army going into the surgical strike or operation. These ministers coming, chief ministers coming, governors coming and expressing sentiment, photo op is absolutely meaningless. So what I am trying to say is, the Disaster Management Authority has completely failed. Disaster management system has failed, even after the disaster that is struck, both on the coast and inland. In the coast, it is about the fishermen. More than quite a few thousands of them are missing now. Even now, they don't know where they are. And even now, nobody knows how many people are dead and how many people are still struggling in the sea. And inside the district, the electricity is completely collapsed. People don't have water to drink. And now is the 10th day. Even now, the power has not been restored. Even where it is restored, it is patchy. So what I'm trying to say is, they are gone in for huge mobilization. Thousands of people are here. But the method that is adopted is not at all as it be during the disaster management. That is where the biggest failure. Indian governance, Prime Minister came to power saying that governance.
Yes.
What is governance? Just attracting some investment into the country. Not the life of the people.
Right.
Livelihood of the people.
What can be done now, Mr. What can be done now?
Now, tell me, what can be done now is defense, coming to the fishermen specifically, because there the human lives are involved. The defense minister came and she had been briefed totally wrong numbers. In fact, people are furious. Yesterday and day for yesterday, the entire agitation, thousands of people going around is because defense minister came and gave a wrong information. Only saying that only 65 fishermen are missing. And now, it's going to be in hundreds. The question now is, even now, they are not into a disaster management mode at all. Routine kind of things. Coast Guard is saying we can't go beyond certain limits. Navy is nowhere to be seen. I really do not know.
All right.
So people are suffering.
People are suffering. We have to wrap up this conversation now because we've run out of time. But one thing is obvious, that there are still fishermen stranded in the deep sea. And we have to find a better way to react to these situations. As is being told to us, the Tamil Nadu government has underplayed the numbers, it has underplayed the disaster. It is still refusing to acknowledge as a government the kind of human life impact that this cyclone has had to its coast and to its fisherfolk, and we don't understand why. The responses given to us on this show were quite disheartening, in fact, and did not at all seem like we can hope for a different reaction from this government going forward. But thankfully, the Navy is on the ground at this point. Thankfully, The central government has action forces that are currently looking and rescuing, looking for and rescuing the fisherfolk who are stranded. From what we understand, we now look to the central government and to the Navy to step in full force, because from what the fisherfolk tell us, the Tamil Nadu government has underplayed this entire issue. It does not have the data on the number of people who are out there. It does not have the names. It does not have information. So it might not be giving you the right information. We at this point beg the central government, I beseech the defense minister and anyone else who is in charge at this point to please take a closer look at what's happening in these villages and why these people are so distressed. They need you at this point, and they need you to take a closer look at what's happening to them. Thanks for watching.